Welcome back to Main Station. Well, if you see my last video, then okay. So if you see my last video, then you might have noticed that, well, it was another format I did, and not just talking about TA, and I think I might do that in the future too. I found that to be actually quite fulfilling. So as you might have noticed, I cut my hair off. Yeah, so went to the barber, and well, nice lady. Yeah, so also what I wanted to talk about is came home from work, cooked, ate, and now I was like, I would like to make a video. So what topic? And well, I thought, and I looked, and I knew like Amazon wasn't that hot, or at least it didn't seem to have nice moves, which I would like to talk about in any specific way. And like Tesla, the same, Google, and well, I knew Facebook gapped up recently, but even that, like we can look at it. Yeah, even Facebook. Well, a nice gap up, no doubt about that. But what does it mean? Firstly, we broke out of this descending channel very nicely. We touched our trend line more or less. We gapped down, but we came back up quite quickly. But now I'm actually waiting, and I thought, like, if we broke up above this high right here, that, well, we would see continuation, and we broke a little bit above it, but was more of a fake out, at least for now. And so, well, I'm waiting. I want to see this consolidate a little bit more, or gap up, and then create a trend of higher lows and higher highs for confirmation that Facebook does actually look for, or is looking for, some nice gains for the long term, actually. And I talked about Facebook, I think, when it gapped down here. Maybe if we could do daily, or no, it was Apple, my bad. But Facebook, everyone talks about, no one uses Facebook anymore, and this fundamental news, which basically there are over 1 billion Facebook accounts which are fake, or I don't know how much they were, but they forget that, well, Facebook includes Snapchat and fucking Instagram. And Instagram and Snapchat, and especially Instagram, in my opinion, is the most used social media platform, or at least of my knowledge. I didn't do any studies, so don't quote me. But like Facebook is fucking huge, like seriously fucking huge. And if we use a Fibonacci, then, well, we are already at our 50% retracement mark of this prolonged correction, bear trend, what do you want to call it? It's more of a correction. But, and this could just be our lower high compared to this or this. And we would look down for either a low or a double bottom, and then a reversal. But this gapped up, like from down here quite quickly in a couple of days, in a few weeks, in 2 weeks maybe. up to 50% again. And this shows that people don't know stuff. People don't know stuff. They think, man, and well, that's not true. Most people don't think. Most people just act. And most people act not based on information that they have gathered or they have actually thought about and evaluated and seriously gave it some thought and sat down to think about it. No, most people just act because someone said they should act. And why? Well, it makes it fucking easy. It makes it just fucking easy, man. If, well, let's say, and I heard about that quite often, and also a little bit in my personal life, but not too much, since I don't talk about trading actually to people who aren't open to talk about things or to talk about things like that, and who seriously have no knowledge about it. So, oh, just wait a minute. Oh. Sorry, I had a chewing gum. I hope I didn't fuck up the audio. Man, that was dumb of me. But anyway, yeah, what I wanted to say is that people just want you to tell what to do. If you, and that's also true for jobs, basically, like do this, do that, and you're fine. And why? Because it makes it easy for them. They don't have to think what to do. They don't have to think when to do stuff, or if they should do stuff. They just want to do what to do and when to do, and don't really need a why, actually. At least most people of my knowledge and of information I've gathered in my whole life. So, and what does it make it easy? Because, well, they don't have to think, like seriously think. And if they are wrong, and if stuff they acted upon turns out bad, well, it's not their fault. And don't get me wrong, in my opinion, well, it's their own fault in 100%. But in their view, and man, most people, not all people, blah de blah de blah, whatever. No. It makes it easy because they can just say, well, he told me this and he told me that and he told me what to do. And, well, I listened, but it wasn't my idea. And, well, they don't take any credibility for it. No fucking responsibility. That's what I meant to say. They don't have to take responsibility. And that's what people love, not taking responsibility. Yeah, that's why people ask for tickers, what to trade and when to trade and blah blah and what to do. And, well, what am I doing, man? I'm providing information for exactly these people, basically. But what I also want you to do is think yourself. Just try, man. And I know this takes a certain brain capacity, and yes, IQ. Yes, no one likes to talk about it, but yes, it does. Whatever. It seriously does take some sort of intelligence. But that's not really the point, I think. Also in trading, man, you can be smart as fuck, but if you don't have sound, not fundamentals, but base knowledge on trading, you can have the fanciest indicators, and you can develop and program the fanciest indicators. But if you're money management, which is based upon wisdom, in my opinion, because it basically says disregard and sacrifice the present for the future. Don't be too eager. Play it cool. Be a bit humble. Trade low. You're going to fail early. You are going to fail, like no doubt. And if you win, you're going to fail big because you will think that I know this stuff and I got this stuff, man. I did it the first time and I made 100% or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I got it, man. I'm going all in, or I'm now investing way more than I did back then, or whatever. And then they just lose big, like huge. And then they might realize, or I hope they realize that, well, they weren't right and they were actually quite dumb. And maybe it would have been better to have a bad, quote unquote, bad experience. There are no bad experience because you will learn from them. But yeah, that's wisdom. That's not IQ. But it takes certain brain capacity to think. It does. So, what is my reason for this ramble again? Good, yeah, definitely a good question. But try to think. And I hope you don't hear my music, man. I just love to hear. I just love to listen to some calm music in the background, especially like when talking or doing my TA or reading. Man, I'm into this little bit psychedelic, calm music, but that's just me. Yeah. So also, what when I'm just rambling, I'm not doing any TA, but this is fun, dude. I love this shit. A girl I talked about, a friend of mine. I showed her one of my videos, and she just said, "That's not you. And you seem so robotic and blah blah blah." And yeah, duh, man. I'm just starting this shit, you know. I am a bit nervous. Well, whatever. It's okay. But I mean, yeah, she's right in some form. And she's also right that if you bring personality to certain stuff, which no one or very few people actually bring personality to, you can stand out quite fast. And well, I might do that, or what I might do that. I'm doing this right now, so whatever. Okay, so well, there's nothing really which I'm fascinated about. My bear flag on Tesla, well, it worked, but as you can see, we didn't dump that hard. We most likely made we made a low definitely, and we are now forming a lower high. So this does still continue, this trend, but you know, if maybe we can draw a bull flag like this. I don't know, actually. Yeah, we can. It's not too shabby. It's okay. No, doesn't look too bad. So I would look for a lower high and then a high low to change this trend and retest this area. Well, we can still go up, of course, and then maybe see lower lows or maybe a higher low. But you know, this is territory which I'm not too eager to trade or do anything basically. Google is quite interesting, and Google and Apple. Well, Google and Apple do look interesting because we broke out of this longer term trend line, and this is very choppy. One big reason why I don't like Google, but we broke out of it, retested it, and now made a high, and we look for, or I'm looking for, a high low quite soon, and maybe this is going to be my high low, which I'm looking for. So Google doesn't look bad, and Apple basically looks the most nice to me, in my opinion. You know, we are a bit below our 0.382 Fibonacci line. We have some resistance incoming quite soon, but we still have some room to go. Like around 10% maybe. Yeah, maybe like 8% until we get there, and then we do look for heavy resistance. So you want to be cautious. But since we're consolidating right now, I think we could go on longer, even though this is quite narrow. But we are making we broke to higher highs compared to this, but you see we didn't break out anything like that. So this still looks like consolidation, and well, as you can see on the daily, we are due for some consolidation, although on the other side we theoretically we still have room to go. But anyway, since this is consolidating, I would look for maybe a few more days, maybe end of this week. But this looks bullish, yeah. It does. It definitely does. Because in my opinion, since it's consolidating below the 0.382, and it didn't just touch it and whacked back down, which it still can, of course, but it wouldn't be usual, what my knowledge is, because if we are consolidating below a heavy resistance area, then we usually break it, and that's also true for support areas. So the line of least resistance usually is where price resides the longest. That's what I have come to know, and that's actually some very nice wisdom which I have gathered from what's it called, a very good book which I definitely recommend. Reminiscences of a stock operator. Reminiscences? How do you call this? Bloody blah of a stock operator. Remember something with reminiscence of a stock operator. Right, I knew it, man. Something with rem. So rabbit eye moving, whatever. Yeah. The most bullish out of these four is Apple, then Facebook, then Google, and then Tesla. So to finish this off, well, I mostly rambled than doing any TA, but there isn't a TA to do, man. In my opinion, like, chill for some time. You know, like Bitcoin maybe is the most volatile right now with this 2% move. Oh my god, like Bitcoin moved 2%, we dropped, no, bear market continues. But whatever, this doesn't do any shit right now. Look at it, Like, what the fuck is this? Bear flag after bear flag after bear flag, breaking and breaking and fucking breaking, doesn't stop breaking. Whatever. I don't fucking care about this. Look at it. Well, I love cursing, by the way. Yeah, so if you can, try and think for yourself. If you don't, then you might want to actually listen to people. Try to listen to people. Try to listen to people who know stuff. And I do this, even though, man, I might sound like damn full of myself, but even though I think that I can think at some point, I still listen and I read a ton, because I know I don't know shit. Even though I might think I know shit, I actually don't really.